Daunte Wright is my son, my baby boy. And I say is and not was because he will always be my son. And I'm proud to say that. I have had many, many sleepless nights and days contemplating how and what I was going to say today. I have to be the voice for myself, my family, my community, but most of all, I have to be the voice of my son, Daunte.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast do not reflects on the opinions of y'all shorty Rachel and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one.
This morning, Kim Potter, the former police officer who shot Daunte Wright during this traffic stop last April, saying she mistook her gun for her taser, will learn her fate.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. So, let's talk about it. I noticed that a lot of people isn't talking about it. If my mouth sound, my voice sounds a little off, is because I had to numb it so that I could be able to talk a little bit. But I have to keep numbing this little jaw until I go back to the dentist. So I'm sorry if my voice. But let's talk about it, guys. Nobody's really talking about this. And I really feel as though, this is my opinion, I feel as though that the judge went real soft on Officer Kim Potter, who doesn't deserve for us to really say her name. But I have to say it right now because I don't want people to be confused when it comes to this and think it's another officer or something like that. We're talking about Officer Kim Potter who shot Daunte Wright. Now, I watched the trial, and to me, I think that the judge really went really soft on her. I want y'all to take a look real quick at the video. Hold on 1 second. Open that. Let me share it with y'all.
Unlike other manslaughter cases.
Hold on. Not the right one, guys. Give me 1 second. So I edited it just in case. I don't want no problems. Right here.
Are served time as a way for a convicted person to pay for the harm inflicted on a victim is the sole purpose that applies in this case. And in this case, a young man was killed because Officer Potter was reckless. There rightfully should be some accountability. Sentencing guidelines are just that.
Listen.
They are guidelines that inform a judge regarding sentencing for various crimes. They are not set in stone. The court has the discretion to depart from guidelines depending on the particular facts of the case. A downward durational departure is justified if the crime is less onerous than typical. Put another way, if the conduct is significantly less serious than that typically involved in the commission of the crime, sentencing below the guidelines is justified.
You hear that?
I find the facts and circumstances here justify a downward departure from the guidelines. First, Officer Potter's conduct was significantly less serious than your typical manslaughter case. The misdemeanor predicate for the manslaughter count.
So let me pause it right here real quick for y'all guys. Now, I'm not sure how long ago this was. I forgot, but I was doing my research. Now, please don't turn this into some racism case or none of that. I'm just pointing it out there because I'm starting to see a lot of stuff out here, right? Now, I know that I forgot what the officer's name is, but when I get on another live, I will have the name. Hopefully by the podcast. An officer, it was a black officer who shot a white civilian, and he got, I think, 15 years and up, right, for shooting and killing this civilian. Now, Kim Potter supposedly accidentally She confused her gun. She mistaken her gun, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm balling myself up. She confused her gun with her taser. And I'm trying to figure out how is it there's so many officers out here, not just on TikTok, but Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can Google the videos up, and they're saying that it's impossible for an officer to really, mistake their gun with their taser. The weight difference, everything, the color, everything. And to me, you could tell, she was only worried about what was going to happen to her. She didn't even worry about during the accident if he was okay. She was just worried about if she was going to go to jail.
Today, the
One more time.
today the
So it's to me, she was only worried about her going to prison. She wasn't worried about if she shot him, if he was okay, what was going to happen, none of the above. She just wanted them to get her rep. And I could just keep going. But y'all can come up with your own conclusions. I really want to know, how much time do y'all think she should have gotten? She was given only 2 years. Let's keep going.
Was reckless handling or use of a firearm. Here, everybody agrees, and the evidence is undisputed, that Officer Potter never intended to use her firearm. She mistakenly drew her firearm at all times, intending to use her taser. There were police officers and experts who testified that the use of her taser was reasonable and appropriate under the circumstances presented for officer safety reasons. The fact she never intended to draw her firearm makes this case less serious than other cases.
Less serious?
Second, the scene was chaotic, tense, and rapidly evolving. Officer Potter was required to make a split-second judgment. That constitutes a mitigating circumstance. Finally, unlike other manslaughter cases, Officer Potter's actions were not driven by personal animosity toward Daunte Wright. Instead, she was acting in the line of duty in effectuating a lawful arrest. This case is highly unusual. The other officer cases tried in this court are distinguishable. This is not common. found guilty of murder for using his knee to pin down the person for 9.5 minutes.
Listen to what she's comparing the case to. And this is what's growing with my goddamn head also.
As he gasped for air.
I'm going to sit here and pause this real quick and give my opinion. Right? I cannot stand, it's my feelings too. I cannot stand judges like that. Because my son encountered a judge just like her. See, and my son's judge said to my son, in my son's situation, my son had a low encounter in the school. I always talk about it because I'm still trying to find ways how we could prevent situations like this. Because at the end of the day, teachers have the same rights that a judge has, the same rights that an officer has, the same rights that a lawyer has. And it's messed up because if they start the problem, or if they end up instigating in the problem, making it worse, they don't have no consequences in reality. They walk away. Shout out to all the teachers that, they do their job because it's their passion. They love doing it. And by any means necessary, they want to see these students move forward. Do what they got to do in life. Educate them. It's their, they love it. It doesn't even matter how much they get paid because, to be honest, we need to bring awareness of how underpaid these teachers are. But, right, that's what this damn judge said. She said that the teachers are heroes to her. But to me, not all teachers are heroes. To me, not all cops are heroes. To me, the real heroes are the nurses. To me, the real heroes are the firefighters. And I'm sorry to say it, but this is my opinion. To me, the real heroes are the firefighters. The nurses. The nurses are the ones that really risk their lives out there every day, are the ones that really do take care of these patients, not the doctors. The doctors sit here and give you a diagnosis. These surgeons, sometimes they make so many mistakes that they don't even be held accountable for. I'm sorry to say it. Even when a nurse is sitting here giving her opinion and she's right about it. But it's all about the money when it comes to, medical and all that stuff. But, that's a topic for another day, guys. Anyways, once again, that's my opinion. My opinion. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm starting to see. And it's crazy because this world is really, really crazy, guys. Really crazy. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch and getting that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. Like, also real shit. I'm really getting tired of it. Tired of the injustice. Tired of all of it. But how much time do y'all really think that he should have gotten? She should have gotten. Like, I cannot stand judges that'll sit here and see everything wrong with a case and still give the damn predator the right. Like, if they didn't do something wrong. This lady sat here and grabbed her gun, not her taser. There's a difference between your left and your right. There's a difference in the weight. And once you had that in front of your face, let me put my camera on real quick. Once you had that damn thing in front of your face about to shoot, you should have peeped the difference, especially on the trigger, everything. I'm sorry to say it, but I've already, like she said, trainers, experts, and all that showed up in court and showed their expert opinions and talked about the case, yeti. But as far as I'm concerned, so why didn't you go by all the experts? Because there was no way in hell she could have mistaken this gun. This gun for this taser. I'm sorry to say it. How many of y'all think the same way I feel? Think the same way I think and feel the same way I feel.
Whoever intended to draw the firearm makes this case less serious than other cases. Second, the scene was chaotic, tense, and rapidly evolving. Officer Potter was required to make a split-second judgment. That constitutes a mitigating circumstance. Finally, unlike other manslaughter one cases, Officer Potter's actions were not triggered by personal animosity toward Daunte Wright. Instead, he was acting in the line of duty in effectuating a lawful arrest. This case is highly unusual. The other officer cases tried in this court are distinguishable. This is not a cop found guilty of murder for using his knee to pin down a person for 9.5 minutes
Listen to what
as
she's
a
comparing.
gas for air. This is not a cop found guilty of manslaughter for intentionally drawing his firearm and shooting across his partner and killing an unarmed woman
You hear this?
who approached his squad. This is a cop who made a tragic mistake. She drew her firearm thinking it was a taser and ended up killing a young man. Miss Potter, will you please rise? Given all these considerations, and having carefully considered the comments of the family of both Daunte
Today the
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of y'all shorty Rachel and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one.
Wright and the comments of Kimberly Potter, as well as the arguments of counsel, it is the sentence and judgment of this court that you shall be committed to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 24 months. You shall serve 2/3 of that time, or 16 months in prison, and a third on supervised release, assuming no disciplinary offenses or conditional release violations. You have credit for 58 days already served. Restitution will be reserved. There'll be a fine of $1,000 and a surcharge of $78 to be taken out of prison wages or due within 180 days. You must provide a DNA sample. You may not use or possess any firearms, ammunition, or explosives. You have the right to appeal the conviction and sentence. If you are unable to pay the cost of an appeal, you may apply for leave to appeal at state expense by contacting the state public defender. You may be seated this time. I'd like to make a few private comments. I recognize there will be those who disagree with the sentence that I granted a significant downward departure does not in any way diminish Daunte Wright's life. His life mattered. And to those who disagree and feel a longer prison sentence is appropriate, as difficult as it may be, please try to empathize with Ms. Potter's situation. As President Barack Obama once said, learning to stand in somebody else's shoes, to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen. Empathy is the quality of character that can change the world. Officer Kimberly Potter was trying to do the right thing. Of all the jobs in public service, police officers have the most difficult one. They must make snap decisions.
So, this is what they was trying to really do.
Minnesota Attorney General's office is seeking a 7-year prison sentence, less than half the 15-year maximum in the state for first-degree manslaughter. In a court filing, the Attorney General writing, quote, Daunte Wright and his life must be held in the highest regard. The presumptive sentence reflects the culpability of the defendant's recklessness in causing Daunte Wright's death. But Potter's attorneys want a reduced sentence or probation, citing her track record on the force, lack of a criminal record, and remorse. The prosecution writing, if the judge is inclined.
So be honest. How much time do y'all think that this officer should have gotten for mistakenly shooting Daunte Wright? She should have gotten more than 2 years. They was looking for 7 years or more. But they just wanted to give her probation. How many of you think that this judge showed too much sympathy just because she was an officer of the law? How many of you think that Daunte Wright got any justice? Because I don't think he really got any justice. 2 years. 2 years, and she didn't seem like she had any sympathy throughout this whole trial.
Sorry it happened. I didn't want to hurt anybody.
Now, that was just a clip. If you really watch the trial, you really see she had no emotions. It's like you can see that, like it's like somebody got into her cry. This is my opinion. I suggest you and I go and watch the trial. And I have a son, one that has mental health system, one that a judge like this adjudicated because she, I don't know, in my opinion, I felt like, oh, this is a little boy from the hood who's never going to change. Without realizing that this little boy is so smart and does have the capacity to change himself, has the ability to motivate people around him to help him change. Like in my son's case, it was that he was autistic, and she didn't take the time to sit here and listen. Now, Dante's case, it's just crazy because regardless of anything that happened in the past with this young man, he was just 20 years old. She sat here and, right, it was a mistake. Like she said, she would have tried to figure out if the boy was okay, would try to get him help, but instead she got on the
started saying that she was going to go to jail. She not once asked about how he was doing, you know, if he did die, call the ambulance for him. No, she said call her rep. Like y'all, I don't know how many of y'all kept up on talking about this case before. And I personally really don't think that it was a mistake. Like you can clearly see that it wasn't a mistake. How in the world this judge couldn't see it? Like she felt so much remorse for this officer. I really don't know why. I really want to get y'all opinions, like what y'all think, how y'all feel. Like,
Daunte Wright is my son, my baby boy. And I say is and not was because he will always be my son. And I'm proud to say that. I have had many, many sleepless nights and days contemplating how and what I was going to say today. I have to be the voice for myself, my family, my community, but most of all, I have to be the voice of my son, Daunte. Your Honor, I hope the defendant is listening as I speak loud and clear today. And yes, I refer to her as defendant because I will not give her the respect of calling her by her name. She referred to Daunte over and over again as the driver, as if killing him wasn't enough to dehumanize him. She never once said his name. And for that, I'll never be able to forgive you. And I'll never be able to forgive you for what you've stolen from us. I hope you're listening and don't mistake any of my words because we can't afford the defendant to make any more mistakes. His name is Daunte Demetrius Wright. Let me tell you what you've stolen from us. Daunte was born October 27th, 2000 at 9:25 a.m., one of the happiest days of our lives. My husband named him after Daunte Culpepper because he loved the Vikings.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of your shorty Rachel and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one.
I knew our son was a star from the moment we looked into his eyes. He played way too much, and he joked a lot. Even when he'd get on my nerves, I couldn't stay mad at him because Daunte's goofy laugh. Daunte loved hard, loved his family, friends, and his son. Daunte's smile was genuine and big, just like his dreams. You took this. You took his future, what he could have been, and it was so many things. April 11th was the worst day of my life. A police officer who's supposed to serve and protect so much took so much away from us. She took our baby boy with a single gunshot through his heart. She shattered mine. My life and my world will never, ever be the same. And I often replay that phone call in my head over and over again, and I blame myself because I should have told him that I shouldn't have told him it was going to be all right. I told him he was going to be okay. And just to find out a few minutes later, he wasn't. A police officer that took an oath to serve and protect for 26 years. But not on this day. On this day, she did not protect. She failed Daunte, our family, and our community. She did not render aid to Daunte, Elena, or the elderly couple that was in the vehicle.
Today, the
His car was held at gunpoint for over 5 minutes while my son bled out in the driver's seat. The last memories of Daunte's life is now watching him being shot over and over again. Seeing his lifeless body pulled and dragged onto a grassy spot where they left him on the ground for hours as people all over the world watched. I had to cry from behind a caution tape. I couldn't go to be with him.
As a parent, I couldn't tell you right now. Putting myself in her shoes makes me not want to put myself in her shoes. But I understand what she's feeling because the thought of losing any of my kids like that is just crazy. I never want to ever hear that phone call telling me that your son has been shot by an officer. It's just, and then the officer was not cautious. He or she was reckless. Like when we all saw the video of Daunte Wright getting shot, we seen the recklessness in it, and I think it's messed up. Like, I think that she could have did something else. She could have avoided that whole scene the way it happened, but she was too hyped to, I don't know how to explain it. But at the end of the day, she should have gotten more time for killing Daunte Wright. I'm sorry to say that was not a mistake. We've all watched the video in the videos they put after that. Even one of the officers asked her what she was doing. Like, she just shot him, and then all she's worried about is she's going to jail. Call her rep. I only took this little small clip because it's just...
today the
That's not the top. That's not the top at all. 4 smiles. 4 smiles on their mugshot. Lady, you smiled on your mugshot. We got comments. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm just
This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be